Okay, Coach, you know, the folks in the Dog Pound, they live for games like this. Snowy conditions here at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Here we go, set, 50, play. Check, block 54, block 54. Watch a slant, There we go.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Set, ready, 18, Gator.
Number 53, Mike 53.
Come on, 80 weapons.
Back to Mixon on first down. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Joe Mixon. And he's got room. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 34 yards there and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. It's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they give this time to the tailback. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Fair. Check out. Hey, Orvin. Hey, stand up.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So now they assess a 3rd and long, and that holding call might have knocked him out of field goal range, at least for the moment.
Kill, squeeze.
Kill, turn it. Switch.
Hey, box drop. Hit it.
From the gun, Herbert, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Mayfield down. And he's got the hook up to Landry. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Nick Chubb. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. Still shedding tackles. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on 1st down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Mayfield looks to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Good. 180.
Check. Watch 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming.
Here's Mayfield. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Good. 180.
It's a party now. Alert 3.
Pistol.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. Oh, he's going to let this go. And this is caught inside the 5. He got 29 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you...
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It's a jet sweep. They get it to Green. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert, he's going to rifle one deep left. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 33-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Alert, 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 alert.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mayfield to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught inside the 5. That one goes for 30 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Bravo! Leo!
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun. Herbert. He's got his man here. It's Green. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 84 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. He'll let it go deep for... It got his man complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
You remember me? Let's go, baby.
Ready?
They'll run with Mixon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, team 6. 2nd
and 4. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Ready. Pilot, 64, weak.
Squeeze, double. He's coming.
Mixon with a first down carry. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 50-yard line.
Ready. 18, Gator. Ready.
Check 52.
Hey, Zoo, just look at me. Score. Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Third down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Here I come again.
Hey, high 7. Cut.
54.
There. Now.
From the gun, Herbert. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Now Callaway on the return. A minute 52 to play until halftime.
Do it.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, Mayfield, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Run. Pistol.
From the gun, Mayfield. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. The Bengals and Browns, this is one of our final few NFL 100 series games. And speaking of series, the 92nd meeting between these two teams. The Bengals holding the 50-41 all-time edge. Last year, the Browns won both games, one in November, then again on December 23rd. And both of these franchises founded by Coach Paul Brown, who, of course, the Browns are named after. But then he would later go downstate to help found the Bengals in May of 1967. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 at the 45-yard line.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
King. You ain't doing nothing today. Check out.
Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
And
all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. They come out here in the eye. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Mayfield with a quick fire to Landry. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Oh, this is blocked.
They don't want it, boys. They don't want it. They don't want it.
Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Check 50. Check 50.
Shoot. To throw again. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Let's go. 70, Indy. 54.
Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
Under 10.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And he's going to go down again. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They run it again with Chubb. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Hey, alert 33.
I got you. I got you. 40's the mark.
I got you.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Mike, 180.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop them here on 3rd down.
Mike's 40. Mike's 40. I'm coming.
Hurry.
Mike 40. Mike 40. Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Open man is Higgins. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 28. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
57's Mike.
Run.
To try again after the sack. Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
X3, 218, chopper.
2nd and 6. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Let's go.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker.
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And shutting him off, now open field, past the 20. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 58 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Hey, Delta.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Joker. Hey, Charlie. Go on.
Back to throw. Herbert. He completes it to Boyd. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Look at me. Zipper. Check. Now.
The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Browns.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A good run by Chubb on first down as he'll get about 6 yards there. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Set, 180.
Man, I got you.
Check 13.
Following the penalty, Chubb. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Check.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Ready. Hey, lock it. 50, plant. Set, go. 49.
2nd and 15. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Under crunch. Hey, exit. Look at me.
From the gun, Herbert going deep downfield for Ross. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Herbert. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
You're trapped.
A toss play to Chubb. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one goes for 24 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Mayfield throwing quickly out to Beckham. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They come out here in the I. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They toss it left side to Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
Set. 180. Set. Check. Hatchet. Real. Up.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On the run, it's Mixon. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
54.
Right.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Right there. 54. Right there. Look. Squeeze. 5.
To throw on 3rd down. Herbert. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Go!
Hey, watch it, watch it.
Put up!
On fourth down, Herbert. He's got his man, Boyd. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Hey, Haywood! Hard!
Hey, alert three.
Hit it!
On first down, Herbert. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Show it.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cleveland, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know when Mace, Posse, and Dave win. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All